Greetings, Grand Rising, you guys. Whenever you're watching this video, I know you're doing well. And yeah, I'm gonna dive right in. So, I am grinding myself. This is my second time doing this video because the second video was just, I didn't like it. And the way I articulated my thoughts was just very indirect. So, here I am. I'm gonna write this up. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about finding a soulmate within yourself and realizing that if you cannot find a soulmate within yourself and ultimately fall in love with yourself, you're not going to attract the soulmate you're supposed to be with, and the universe is going to delay you meeting that person within your personal timeline, within meeting them when you're supposed to. So that's why it's just so important not to just do the work for your soulmate or whoever you're supposed to be with in due time, like your person, but to do it to be able to figure out who you are, your purpose, and have very strong solitude in your foundation of who you are and knowing yourself and realizing when you're evolving, once you know yourself, and just being very self-aware in your solitude and exercising that when you can, whenever you can, and just doing it when you want to and also when you need to, most importantly, right? So to be able to have a soulmate within yourself, you need to be able to learn how to be alone and how to be disciplined enough to put yourself in a space to be bored and figure out yourself internally, and also be able to align yourself with your highest self, to be able to talk to your spiritual ancestors or your spiritual guides in this case, right? So this is where meditation comes in. This is where you being curious enough to understand or understand yourself in this case, especially, it's really important to say understand right now, on who you are and what other things that you might probably need to heal from, things that you're good at, things that you haven't discovered yourself that might be definitely or ultimately superpowers within this lifetime that could be things that you can use to apply to your 3D reality as cheat codes to get things that might be challenging to other people as easy as possible to work out for you. Hopefully that makes sense. So it can just be like smooth sailing. It's like when you surrender to being disciplined about discovering yourself and being curious enough to put yourself in a space to be able to figure out who you are, then it's like ultimately you fall in love with those aspects of yourself and realize how unique you are and that you're more than your vessel, and you realize that you are a god or a goddess. Honestly, we all have a specific part of God within us, right? And when you can reach that frequency or that godly frequency, which is your highest self within your soul, since we are a collective consciousness and we are connected, then it's like the sky. I keep referencing the sky, but literally it's just so many unlimited possibilities that you could be able to explore about yourself and in this world. Not just visually watch what you can see 3D wise, but like in other dimensions, 4D, 5D, that people might not see, but you only can see because it's something that you can control mentally, right? And if you can control your mental, you can tap into your spiritual side that is ultimately connected to dimensions that are higher than the 3D, right? So you can visualize things that are in higher dimensions, so that will translate into your 3D reality. So that's why it's so important, because the mental is like a gateway to ultimately understanding yourself and ultimately visualizing things that you can manifest and translate to abundance within your 3D reality that you are going through right now. So it's just like really amazing, because it's like kind of opening up Pandora's box when you can be able to reprogram your brain mentally and realize that everything will work out in your favor. And I realized that, yes, intention is definitely important when it comes to things like this, because you want to be intentional about what specifically you want to do, and also regarding developing that foundation about who you are, your purpose, and figuring out, you know, what it is about yourself that makes you unique, and ultimately aligning yourself and walking along the path to become your highest self, right? And you can visualize what your highest self would do, what they would look like, and take steps forward and be disciplined enough to go through that process. And yeah, visualization and your imagination and your feminine side of your brain is so important, guys. That's how you are able to come up with ideas, get downloads from the sun, right? Connect with nature and ground yourself, and release any doubt or negative energy in this process. It's like a cycle almost. Everything is connected, yet, you know, we are detached from everything, right? Well, you shouldn't attach yourself to anything. You shouldn't attach yourself to anything, honestly. But okay, ultimately, all these aspects about self-love, being curious about finding out new things about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, and evolving as a person is how you ultimately fall in love with yourself and become your highest self, which is your soulmate. And that's what the point I was getting to. But yeah, hopefully I wasn't rambling too much, but that is ultimately what I want to say. But just take steps to be able to become your highest self, to figure out and fall in love with your soulmate, which is yourself, one of multiple soulmates. And that one of that multiple of your soulmates is you, if that makes sense. So yes, you are one of your soulmates, and how to do so is working on yourself, being curious, and falling in love with your evolution and this experience regarding on what your purpose is. Really hope that makes sense, guys. Okay, peace and love, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right.